Okay, let's just dive right into a pretty mind-bending idea. What if the world you see isn't actually happening to you, but is really just a reflection of you? Today, we're going to explore a really radical way of looking at reality.
You know that feeling, right? Like we're constantly just reacting to whatever life throws at us, that we're sort of at the mercy of events happening around us. Well, this whole explainer is designed to challenge that entire point of view. And it all starts with this one huge question.
So let's unpack that feeling. Because for most of us, let's be honest, the default setting is to see ourselves as victims of our circumstances. We generally live our lives believing our thoughts don't have much power over the quote-unquote real world out there. We've kind of downplayed the power of our inner world. And so we see a world that feels separate, a world that is always acting on us. But what if that's completely backwards? What if the relationship between you and the world is the other way around? Let's explore this really powerful analogy for how reality might actually be working. So this is the crucial point, this total flip of cause and effect. It's not that you have a thought and then later something happens. It's simultaneous. Your mind, your thoughts, that's the cause. And the world you see, everything out there is simply the effect. And this movie analogy really helps make it all make sense. Think of your mind as a movie projector. You create a film, a story, a thought. Then your mind, the projector, just beams that film outward. And what you see playing out on the big screen of the world, that's just the film. It's just your thought being played back to you. Now, this means we have a massive amount of responsibility here. You're not just sitting in the audience watching passively. No way. You wrote the script, you produced it, you directed all the action, and you're the star of the show. You are making this movie specifically so that it can be seen. This quote really gets to the heart of it. The world you see, the effect, the movie on the screen, it has never, ever actually left its source, which is your mind. It's just an outward picture of an inward condition. Okay, so if we're all projecting our own movies, then why does it so often feel like we're watching a horror film? Why does the world seem so hostile sometimes? It turns out our whole sense of being a separate person, an individual, is based on this one foundational thought of attack. And since that's the film we've got loaded in the projector, well, that's the reality we're gonna see. And this is a really, really challenging concept to accept. It basically means there's no sliding scale of negativity. That tiny bit of irritation you feel when someone cuts you off in traffic and intense, blinding rage, they come from the exact same place. They're just different costumes for the same inner attack thought. So here's the dynamic. We have these attack thoughts bubbling up inside. Maybe we feel insecure about our job or we're judging a family member. But those feelings are uncomfortable, right? We don't want to own them. So the mind does this clever little trick. It projects them out. And suddenly, we don't see the insecurity in ourselves anymore. Instead, we see a boss who's about to tear our work apart. And this is what creates the vicious cycle. We've completely forgotten that we threw the first punch, metaphorically speaking. So now, when we see the world gearing up to strike at us, any anger we feel seems totally justified. We think we're just defending ourselves from some outside threat. But what we're really doing is reacting to our own projection. So if we're stuck in this trap that we built ourselves, how on earth do we get out? Let's talk about the path to actually escaping this whole cycle. The very first thing you have to get is that trying to change the projection on the screen is a total waste of time. The world can't change because it's just an effect. It's like trying to change a shadow on the wall without moving the thing that's casting it. It's like arguing with your reflection in the mirror. It's not going to change your expression. The way out is to work with the cause, not the effect. And the process is simple, but that doesn't mean it's easy. First, you have to identify the real problem, which is your own attack thought. Then, and this is the key part, you just have to be willing to let it go. Willingness doesn't mean you know how to let it go. It's just a small, honest decision to want a different way. That's it. Our only job is to really cooperate with those first two steps. The last one, that happens for us. Ultimately, it all boils down to choosing a purpose for what you see. You can use the world to prove you're separate, you're special, you've got your own interests. Or you can use the world as a classroom to learn forgiveness and to wake up from this crazy dream of conflict. Every single person, every situation becomes a lesson. Instead of asking, what is this person doing to me, the question becomes, what is this showing me about the film I'm projecting? So, what does it really mean to commit to this new way of seeing things? Let's wrap up by looking at the true power of taking back control of the projector.
This idea changes everything. Our feelings of being safe or being under threat, they have absolutely nothing to do with what's happening in the world. They are a direct result of the thoughts we are choosing to project.
And this right here is the ultimate takeaway. The source of every threat you perceive, every time you feel wronged, every single bit of fear, it's all internal. That's an incredibly powerful and yet deeply personal thing to realize.
The logical conclusion here is pretty profound. If only your thoughts can attack you, then any attack you think is coming from the outside world is actually just a projection of an attack you first launched against yourself, in your own mind.
And that just leaves us with the final, ultimate question. If the world is truly a mirror of the thoughts you hold, and you have the power to change those thoughts, what kind of world are you going to choose to project today?